son of Sean, Diddy, Combs seen in courtroom reading sex crimes indictment against father. Sean, Diddy, Combs has been indicted on federal sex crimes charges. By Emily Palmer and Elizabeth Rosner, published on September 17, 2024, 2:06 p.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. Shortly after arriving in Manhattan's federal court Tuesday morning, Sean, Diddy, Combs' oldest son, Christian King Combs, made his way with a group of 7 men to the 5th floor arraignment room, where they each requested a copy of the music mogul's indictment. Each of the men silently leafed through their own paper copy of the indictment, in which prosecutors allege that Sean Combs coerced women into highly orchestrated performances, which he called freak-offs, and which he arranged, directed, masturbated during, and often electronically recorded, per the indictment obtained by People. The indictment further alleges that the singer used those recordings as collateral to ensure the continued obedience and silence of the victims, threatening their careers and livelihoods, including if they resisted participating in freak-offs. The father is charged in a 3-count federal indictment, unsealed at 10 a.m. Tuesday, September 17th, with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Seated in an orange chair in the arraignment room and surrounded by the other men, the younger Combs was seen reading the 14-page indictment outlining the allegations against his 54-year-old father. Prosecutors allege that during the freak-offs, as well as at other times, the singer hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims, at times, by their hair, causing injuries that took days or weeks to heal. During the alleged freak-offs, which also allegedly included sex workers, prosecutors claim in the indictment that Combs distributed a variety of controlled substances to victims, in part to keep the victims obedient and compliant, and that afterward, Combs and the victims typically received IV fluids to recover from the physical exertion and drug use. In a statement from his lawyer, reported by HotNewHipHop.com, Aaron Dyer called her claims manufactured lies and irrelevant facts.
According to People, seated in an orange chair in the arraignment room and surrounded by the other men, the younger Combs was seen reading the 14-page indictment outlining the allegations against his 54-year-old father.
On Tuesday, his defense filed a proposed bail package, in which they offer $50 million to keep him out from behind bars. In April, his eldest son, who is not named in the federal indictment, was accused alongside him of sexual assault in a lawsuit filed by Grace Omarque in Los Angeles Superior Court. Combs was arrested late Monday night at a hotel in Manhattan.
So Diddy's 3 sons, including the one he adopted, I'll be sure's son, they were seen walking into the courthouse. They didn't have anything to say. Reporters asked them, do you want to say anything? Mom was the word. They just walked slowly and straight through the door of the courthouse. Now, one of his sons, were seen thumbing through the indictment in the courtroom, but none of them had a word to say. So now I'm wondering if Diddy's 3 sons are going to talk, because they know a lot more than they were willing to tell the feds. And not only Diddy's sons, a lot of these Hollywood elite are sitting on a whole lot of evidence. The first couple of boxes that were taken in the raids had tapes and all kinds of videos pertaining to these celebrities. So I was made aware by the reporting that is going on recently. So that's what they really went for, to get those tapes, to see who was on it and how they can, I guess, extract information from these people. So what's really interesting is one of the reporters caught up with Clive Davis, the man himself. Now, you guys know the man is probably 1,000 years old. Okay, it's a stretch, but he's pretty old. He can barely walk. He needs assistance walking. And they asked him the question, what do you think about Diddy now that he has been arrested, sitting in jail? And he said, who? What you said, who? He didn't say that, and he didn't say anything. He was just quiet. He went all the way in his car, and I believe he was hearing, because he pretended he didn't hear what they said. He went in his car and buckled up with his dog on his lap while he drove away. They drove him away, folks. So Clive Davis, mom was the word. He didn't have a thing to say. Now, I don't know if he is on one of them tapes. So the day before Diddy turned himself in, he was spotted in Central Park just relaxing and maxing, enjoying the weather. Listen, dead man walking. When you know that you're going to be put away for a while, you enjoy the grass, the sunshine. Well, you can enjoy the sunshine while you're in prison when they let you out for your little break. But I mean, rubbing your feet on grass and stuff like that. So he was enjoying himself in the park, just relaxing. But let me tell you, I believe he knew that they were coming after him. When they raided his place, those two houses, when those raids went down, Diddy knew what time of day it was. He knew the jig was up. Question in my mind is, why did he leave all the evidence behind? Why did they find so much evidence on his premises? Why? Because think about it, folks. Before the raid, people were talking about the feds coming after him because Cassie had revealed what happened to her with a video that she sent to CNN. It's all alleged, but how else would they have gotten a hold of that video unless she sent it? So he knew the feds were coming. The question in my mind, and in a lot of people's mind, why did he leave so much evidence behind? I believe he took all the major stuff and did away with them. The stuff that the feds found, I believe, was just stuff that maybe he overlooked. When you have so much evidence on people over a 10-year span, if not longer, you're going to overlook stuff. Let's face it. If I were the feds, I'd go to some of those lockers. You know, some of those storage units. If I were them, I would go check those out. Because these folks, when they like to herd stuff that may incriminate them, they just can't let go of videos and even, little stuff that they collect over a period of time. So I would suggest to the feds, go ask people if Diddy took out any storage containers in their name, and that's where he would be hiding the rest of the stuff. Because there's no way the feds coming after you and you have so much evidence laying around in your computer on tapes, and you would be a fool to have so much evidence knowing that the feds are going to find it. So I believe all the major evidence, the really, really incriminating stuff, he got hidden somewhere, or he burned them up or did away with them. Now, another question in my mind is, since he knew he was going to be indicted and was going to be jailed, I'm thinking, well, you got a plane, you got a private jet, there's Bali. You can go and join Russell Simmons over there, but he didn't. Why? Because he thought he was going to get off. Now, when he put up that, his lawyer said they're going to put up that $50 million bail because Diddy paid off for one of the houses. He paid the mortgage off and said he was going to use that as collateral. So I think maybe the lawyer told him, pay off your house, use it as collateral, don't escape the country and go anywhere, show good faith, turn yourself in. All of that was all orchestrated, but it didn't work because when the lawyer said Mr. Combs is willing to put up his home as bond, $50 million as bond, the judge turned it down. The judge probably said, not today, not on my watch. No, brother, you're going straight to jail. You done abuse all these women, now you want me to take pity on you? So he's sitting in jail without no bail, and I'm sure he's thinking to himself, man, I could have gotten away 6 months, and I could have been out of Dodge. But I was thinking about my kids, just running away and leaving all of them behind. What would people think about me then? So as far as I'm concerned, this was his only option, to turn himself in. Because from the time this Cassie video dropped, to all the raids, etc., it's been about 6 months already. He could have been long gone. So I'm wondering, why the heck did he stick around? So I'm looking at Russell Simmons and Diddy. Russell Simmons had Kamora Lee Simmons to take care of those children. And in P. Diddy's situation, he's both father and mother to his kids. He don't have a woman in the house, a regular woman like mom, to take care of his kids. Maybe his youngest child, Love, is living with her mom. I'm not sure. But basically, he's mom and dad to his children. So escaping, leaving the country is easier said than done, because it would have looked double bad on him, because it would have been child abandonment. Because the twins are only 17. They just turned 17 this year. And he's got the baby, Love, who is probably about 2. So him leaving the country is easily said than done. He had a lot to lose. He had the respect of his children. What would his kids think of him if he had abandoned them in this time? So I really can't blame him for sticking around and just going through the charges. But I don't know if he's cut like that to spend all them years in jail. But we will see. Look, I'm putting the cart before the horse. And that's only because I think he's going to do the jail time. He's not getting away from this. There's no get out of jail card here. As a matter of fact, I think his crime is worse than R. Kelly. But with the charges they have on P. Diddy, I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon. I think he's going to be right along with R. Kelly as a neighbor. That's how long he's going to be in jail. Well, I should say prison, because that's his next step. From that jailhouse to the prison cell, that's what's going to happen. And all the people he had these tapes on and was blackmailing, allegedly blackmailing these people, they're going to come forward because they don't want to be next. Because the DA is giving them enough time to come and make a statement and to tell exactly what they knew, what was going on. Because some of these people are co-conspirators. They bought the IV drip. They talking about IV drip and all the drugs and everything else. They're going to be asked, where did you get the drugs from? Who bought the drugs? Where did you get the IV drip from? The ketamine, everything. Who was the doctor? Because in the indictment, it stated that these girls or these sex partners would be under the influence, and these FOs would last for days. And to get these people out of this state of, I guess, semi-consciousness, they would hook them up with these IVs to get them to come through fully. I mean, that is some serious stuff. You're talking about drugging a person, you using IV drips to bring them back. I want to know who was the doctor, because you can't walk into a pharmacy store and purchase any IV drip. A doctor have to prescribe that. So I want to know who was the doctor who prescribed these IV drips constantly over the last how many years? 10 years plus, for this man to continue in this type of behavior. So not only the princesses and the prince and Hollywood elite have to worry, doctors have to worry also. Guys, drop your comments. I'm over and out. I'll catch you all in the next one. This is serious. This is big. This is like bigger than Jeffrey Epstein. That's what I say. This is bigger. But P. Diddy got to be sleeping with his eyes open, because he's a sitting duck in jail. And we know what happened to Jeffrey Epstein. We know what happened. These big Hollywood elites don't want their secrets to come out. And P. Diddy is a sitting duck. I'm over and out. Drop your comments. See you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.